So, welcome everybody to round 9 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Light Enduro Championship. 3 title protagonists, 52 points on offer, but there was one man that stormed to pole position just after qualifying, Sam Lovelace. Where did you pull that one from?
I don't really know. Last lap I think I got it, and I had a nice tow from Axel, which helped. To be honest, I had a good groove going into the session. It's just a shame I had a bit of traffic in the middle part, so I didn't really get the lap in. But everything really came together on that last lap, and it's good enough for pole.
Hopes for the race?
Well, obviously I'm going to try and convert it, but it's a strong field behind me, and it's a long race. A lot can happen, so I'll be very happy with the podium, and the win would be a bonus.
Yeah, conditions today pretty good, nice and dry, quite grippy. Hopefully get a good result. I mean, I know Max has qualified down the order before and won it, so that's, you know, just keep hopeful that it's a good race, not really too many accidents, and yeah, hopefully try and catch Sam, but he's fast around here.
So Max qualified in 3rd place there. How tough was it out there in the qualifying session? It looks a bit edgy at times, but
yeah, it was very, very tough going around. The times were changing, and I was trying really hard. I was just setting the same lap over and over again, and the gaps between 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all the way back, they're really tight. I can't really tell what's going to happen.
And your expectations for the race is a good mix around here at Daytona Tamworth, so I suppose it's going to be a bit tricky out there.
Yeah, I've qualified 3rd, but just because the whole field around me is so strong, I'm hoping for a podium.
Well, hopefully they'll be able to aid your championship aspirations for sure.
Yeah, hopefully.
Cheers, thank you.
So, Dan, pretty exciting prospect. We've got 2 people at the front who we know are good on pace, but we've also got the championship rivals. 52 points this weekend. It could be tied up today, but do you think it's going to go down to the wire at Milton Keynes?
I think it's going to go down to the wire. You know, with the drop scores to calculate as well, it's going to be a really tricky race around here at Daytona Tamworth. Lots of very different types of corner. You've got big, long straights, very long, corrosive corners, and you've got the tighter bit here on the Indy circuit, which we're standing by. So, over the course of an hour, it's going to be an extremely tricky challenge, but if anyone can do it, it's these guys.
So, without further ado, it's time to get the action underway here at Daytona Tamworth. Round 9 awaits. Drivers, to your karts. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for round 9 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Light Enduro Championship. 3 protagonists in the mix, but a very tight qualifying, because your grid will be as follows. Sam Lovelace and Tom Kempynck will be on the front row. 2nd row will be Max O'Shaughnessy with Axel Sliječević. Josh Craft and Josh Mercer will round out row 3, ahead of Ben Leslie, Dante Dillon, Sam Bennett and Harrison Pugh, who complete the top 10. 20 karts in all, I believe, this weekend, with Kurt Fordry and Sam Hampshire 11th and 12th respectively. 13th and 14th, Nathan Ballard and Alex Brazier, followed by Charlotte Manton, Boyd Wayne Jr., Alexander Doricott, Tom Pugh, Tim Ellis and Anatoly Duko. Dan, very explosive last-minute ditch attempts in qualifying this morning, with the top 13 separated by just over a second.
That's quite close, and obviously you said we have 20 runners and riders for this race. It's a short circuit, it's a tight circuit, it's bumpy, it undulates, it's tight, it's wide, it's long, you know, every sort of description we can give it, this circuit's got. There's a really good mix here.
So temperatures will be a little bit cooler than this morning, Dan, but it still will be fast pace for 1 hour when we go green momentarily.
It's going to be fast-paced, it's going to be tight. You know, we said it was really good in qualifying. You know, no one could really get a big gap. What are we going to see? Of course, it's a rolling start, but it's a very tight exit out of the final corner. So getting the power down out of the final corner and up to the start line is going to be a very critical part to this race. We are about to get underway for round 9.
So drivers are coming through turn 10 at the moment, lining up in formation. So your front row, it's that was very close from Axel Sliječević on Tom Kempynck there, going round the penultimate turn. Round the final hairpin they come very slowly. The field bunches up. We're ready to go racing for 1 hour. The drivers are coming across towards the start-finish line, and revs rise, and we are off, heading into turn 1. And O'Shaughnessy tries to throw it up the inside into Kempynck. It's side by side, heading down into turn 2 for the first time of asking. Kempynck gets ahead. And looks like O'Shaughnessy's made the move up into 4th place. Well,
into 3rd place, and he's challenging for 2nd. Sorry, Alex, they come up towards turn number 5 for the first time in this hour-long race. A good start by the top 3. They've broken away quite nicely by a couple of kart lengths as they come into the Indy circuit for the first time.
And so it is still Sam Lovelace fending off initial advances from both Tom Kempynck and Max O'Shaughnessy, who are battling over second and third. Behind them, it looks like, I think it's Josh Kraft and also Axel Slijepcevic as well. Ben Leslie is down a couple of places behind. Harrison Pugh is in the top 10, as is Sam Bennett. So it's going to get really tight and twisty and technical, uphill cambers, and coming around the final hairpin, it's also an uphill shot towards the start-finish line, and some karts might bog down if the drivers don't apply the throttle correctly. So lap 1, Lovelace from Kempynck with O'Shaughnessy in close pursuit, heading down into turn 2. This is full power, heading down towards turn 3. They're literally on the throttle for 10 seconds as back down the end of the field. Anatoly Duko looks like he's got up into 18th, well, make that 19th, no, back down to the end of the field, heading into turn 3 as the leaders are coming through. That looks like towards turn 5 there.
Turn 5 and 6, Kempynck is really struggling. I'm not quite sure why, because on the hard power sections of the circuit already, you can see he's really having to battle with Max O'Shaughnessy to keep in second place. Out on to the faster sections, turn 2 and 3. It's getting rather tight for the lead of the race. Tom Kempynck, considering a move, he was much closer than he's been in a previous couple of laps. He's almost, in fact, he is up the inside, takes the lead. Bit of a nudge there on Sam Lovelace, but there we go. Tom Kempynck takes the lead in this race, round 9. Coming through the next technical part of the circuit, the Indy circuit, very tight indeed, but as we saw just a few moments ago, Sam Lovelace is not going to let this battle for the lead get past him. And of course, Max O'Shaughnessy must be just sitting there and absolutely grinning. He's not that close at the moment, he's just going to bide his time. Josh Kraft, still in 4th place, dropped off a little bit, but is just waiting to see what happens as we go through turn number 3 and 4. Are we going to see a repeat of what happened a lap ago? Can Lovelace retake the lead? Not quite, going into the right-hander.
Kempynck and Lovelace are swapping positions, and O'Shaughnessy is trying to hold back and wait for these two to tangle to potentially capitalise and get the lead of this race in the early goings, but he has shown it before, time and time again this season, that whilst he's waited, others have missed out on opportunities.
Well, he almost got caught up in a little bit of contact then, so he is really on the coattails of these guys as they come over the line to finish lap number 5. And it's very close. It's less than half a second between the 3 of them, and in all of this they're still going quite quickly, 56.5, 56.4s, so they're still lapping quicker than the rest of the field. They're breaking away, just not quite as quickly as they could be.
I could definitely agree with that, Dan. So let's see if we can grab an M on board with Tom Kempynck leading the race at the moment. So they come through turn 5, heading into turn 6, slight camber, and then a momentum shift to the right-hand side through to this very tight technical last sector here at Daytona Tamworth. It's very challenging for the upper bodies of the drivers, as and there's been a move on Harrison Pugh retaking the position. Ben Leslie is clearly in the mix with that one as well, so I'll keep an eye on that battle, and that is currently for 7th at the moment. So Harrison Pugh is not quite comfortably ahead of both Ben Leslie and Sam Hampshire at the minute.
And he was the fastest person on circuit last time, but a new fastest lap, 55.9 for Tom Kempynck. His qualifying pace really being shown here, and has pulled a 0.334 of a second gap over Sam Lovelace.
And it's the battle of the Sams further down the order. Sam Hampshire is coming under increased pressure from the man wearing the Scuderia Ferrari overalls, Sam Bennett, the number 5 seed. That's currently the battle for 9th and 10th. They're coming through turn 6 as we speak. Bennett has been waiting in the wings, approach to turn 3, and as Sam Bennett has just passed Sam Hampshire. Now let's not forget, Charlotte Manton this time last year got on the podium, 3rd place. She's now up into 12th, and she's battling hard with Kurt Vaudry, but I think look at the distance between Kempynck, Lovelace, and then you go all the way back to O'Shaughnessy.
1.3 seconds on that last lap, 1.5 now, but the gap between the top two is 0.173, so it is very close for the fast in the lead. They've just seemed to be in a different planet so far.
Well, when you think about it, in terms of championship permutations, if things were to finish right now, we would go to the final round at Milton Keynes. So Max O'Shaughnessy, I think, you know what, he's got an opportunity to either go for it, or is he going to do a grandstand finale next month?
We'll wait and see. Very close between turn 5 and 6. The long left-hand and the
and that's side by side between Nathan Ballard and Kurt Vaudry, I believe, as Charlotte Manton has got ahead last time around. So Charlotte's now got some clean air, and she can try and make the best of it, heading up towards the top 10 of the field. So next up on her list will be Sam Hampshire, but Sam Bennett, I've noticed, It's getting a bit racier. He is closing on Ben Leslie. Look at the gap as they're coming through turn 7, Dan. You got Harrison Pugh, then you got Ben Leslie, then you got Sam Bennett as well. So Bennett is really on a charge.
He is indeed, as there was just a little bit of running wide for Axel there down in, I believe that is in 5th place, so he's pushing as hard as he can, as indeed they all are. It's very close, this battle you were mentioning just a moment ago with Charlotte Manson and co. They are trying to close in as much as they can. It's pretty much nose to tail as they come through the final corner. A no curbing warning for the number 19, I believe, that is Charlotte Manson, so maybe pushing a bit too much.
And we've got Anatoly Dukol not that far in front of both Tom Kempynck and Sam Lovelace. Now here we go. This is where the first back marker could provide problems for one of the leaders.
Especially as how close these two have been. It's 0.292 of a second as they come through turns 3 and 4. They're nose to tail. It's looking incredibly tight. And as they come up towards turn 4, the left-hander, this is where it's going to get very tricky because they are closing up to the back marker at just the wrong point. The Indy circuit is so tight and they've caught up to him. This is going to be where the drivers really show their mettle.
So Dukol is holding up both Kempynck and Lovelace could have an opportunity at some point as Kempynck nudges Dukol a little bit further forward.
They're having to defend.
And bumps him wide, so that allows both him and Lovelace to get through. Round through turn 10 they come. So I think it was the slightest of contacts there, and it just unsettled the kart for Anatoly Dukol. So let's go on board with Tom Kempynck for a bit of this lap here at Daytona Tamworth, the club circuit, through turn 1, heading down the main approach, through into the chicane at turn 2, into a very hefty braking zone, into turn 3, round the right-hander they go, across the back straight, round into a sweeping turn 4 right-hander. And as you can see, Tom Kempynck is really making that kart as wide as possible to keep Sam Lovelace at bay. But Lovelace is like a little Yorkshire Terrier. He's nipping at the heels of Kempynck, waiting for that chance to slingshot past into the lead.
And what a fantastic circuit Daytona Tamworth is. Look how well it's promoting hard fought but very close racing. We're speaking about the lap just a moment ago. Well, Max O'Shaughnessy really got held up going through down the back stretch and through turn number 3. He really isn't going to be too pleased. But as we are 17 minutes and 42 now into the race, nearly third distance already. That is absolutely flown by. But everyone's just settling into a bit of a rhythm now. It's looking rather close. Is there going to be a move up the inside? Yes, there is. Great move. Takes some good commitment. Plenty of space left on driver's right-hand side. A decent move. Now he's got to defend the position.
But this is allowing Sam Bennett to pull in via one sort of, whether it's a magnet or a tractor beam, I'm not too sure, but Sam Bennett is still there in the mix. So if Harrison Pugh and Ben Leslie, who are coming through turn 6, as is Sam Bennett as well, Bennett could make another top 10 finish as the leaders come through. Couple of back markers, including Anatoly Dukol in the way there, as the pair barge going down into turn 2. That was very close, gents.
Very close indeed. Almost a smattering of contact at turn number 3 as well. Just the back markers again, as we were suggesting earlier, because it's so tight but so quick. If you make one wrong move, it could prove all decisive in this race.
You know what, I'm not surprised by the pace of Sam Bennett at the moment. He actually put it on pole position here back in 2015.
Wow.
So we know he's got the calibre, and with both Harrison Pugh and Ben Leslie ahead, who's not to say that Sam Bennett could very well factor in, as Max O'Shaughnessy is also trying to get past back marker traffic going through turn 7. Leaders coming through towards the penultimate corner of the track as Lovelace has got some sort of magnet pulling him along with Tom Kempynck. Looks like they're trying to make some inroads in a gap between themselves and Max O'Shaughnessy, as Lovelace is sizing Kempynck up. A couple of laps ago, it nearly came to blows between the pair coming out of the turn 2 chicane. The pair come through into turn 3. Lovelace goes up the inside. The pair are side by side. Lovelace takes the lead going into turn 4. Nice job by our pole sitter.
A fantastic move there. He really just shaped him up, saw the gap on driver's right-hand side, threw it up the inside. He had so much more momentum, it seemed like, but now as they come into the Indy circuit, he's got to go back into that all-tricky position of having to defend, and it's a very tight, very bumpy part of the circuit, running just a little bit deep. You know, you get momentum is good in one point, but in another, you just really got to be able to stop it. Moving back to the physicality, you know, we keep saying it's bumpy, the curbs are aggressive, it's a long circuit, it's a very tight circuit. You've got to use all of your body to try and get as much in terms of positioning as well as just as much in terms of speed. So you've got to think. This is where the technical ability of the driver comes into question. He's got to think to be able to get these good positions.
And also smooth and consistent driving will be key for anybody, especially in an enduro. In the heats, it's a very different matter. It's full blast. It's like a sprint. But here it's about strategy. When are you going to employ that tactic that's going to put you ahead of the person in front of you? As I've just seen Ben Leslie being closed on hand over fist by Sam Bennett on the run down towards turn 2. So Sam Bennett again has picked up his pace. Pole sitter here at 2015.
0.3 of a second over the line. That was just a few corners ago. The gap's extended as they go through turn number 3, but on the braking zones and on the straights, it just seems that Sam Bennett has got so much more speed compared to Ben Leslie, who can just carry more momentum through the corners. It's a real cat and mouse battle at the moment.
And it's still Lovelace leading by about a couple of kart lengths from Tom Kempynck. The pair head down the approach, down into turn 2, into turn 3 they go. Max O'Shaughnessy a fair distance behind, but I think Sam is sitting pretty where he is. Max is sitting pretty where he is at the moment. So in terms of the championship permutations, where do we stand at the moment, Dan?
Well, I am literally just calculating that as we speak, allocating and calculating for the 2 drop scores. It would be Max O'Shaughnessy, who stays in the lead of the championship, but only just 306 points as opposed to the 301 for Tom Kempynck. So it's looking very close, just 5 points in between them. Of course, Dante Dillon, no score at the moment, I'm assuming, so he will still remain on 265, but 233 for Axel Schlechtowitz.
So that would effectively mean we would have a 3-horse race going into the Milton Keynes finale. Kempynck's thinking of a move, had to held back there going into the approach onto turn 4.
And up the right-hand side, Sam Lovelace places the kart. He was wise to an attack there, and he's just moving that kart about enough, as you can see, just enough to keep him in the lead for now, but how long can he last?
It's only a matter of time, as Sam Lovelace admitted to me pre-race that he wants to convert this into a win, and this I think will put him at his first win of the year. He's shown very good calibre of driving this season, has Sam Lovelace. He's been in the top 5, he's put it in the top 5 in qualifying, and now he's showing a sign of what is to come from the number 50, and Tom Kempynck is trying to size up a move on Sam Lovelace at some point. The pair go side by side.
Around the inside, he did go up the inside, Kempynck did as well. Is he, in fact, yes he has, he's taken a position, he moves to the left hand side and Kempynck takes a position.
So nice work by the Belgian there to get back in front of Sam Lovelace, but it's still all to play for. We have how long remaining, Dan?
We have just 40, we're 40 minutes in, so just 20 minutes to go.
Looks like Kempynck has got a little bit more of a lead now going through turn 5, but Lovelace looks a little bit more planted going into the braking zones, onto turn in as well. And of all the companies that he actually works for, Tom Kempynck, you wouldn't believe this, would you? He works for Aston Martin, one of the prestigious supercar brands here in the UK. So he knows about rear-wheel drive machinery, and karting here at Daytona is no different as he tries to get past Anatoly Duko again. Kempynck still is keeping that kart hugging the apex as much as possible towards the latter stages of this race, but you can see from Sam Lovelace how he's positioning that kart as there's a kart off on the inside on the approach to turn 6. Is that Nathan Ballard, I believe?
Well, let's wait and see on the timing screens as people start to trickle through. He's managed to Control-Alt-Delete and get it underway, so maybe it was a slight hiccup. Luckily, the rider or driver has continued, so they can live to fight another day.
So leaders come round. Sam Lovelace, I think, has got his second win. He's really gearing up to put on a full-blown assault on Tom Kempynck in the latter stages of this race. They're coming through into turn 3. Down the back straight they go, heading into the sweeping turn 4 right-hander, and Sam Lovelace is going side by side. The pair are barging door pods, but Kempynck still edges out ahead through into turn 5. Now in the approach towards turn 6. Lovelace loses out a little bit there to Kempynck. There's quite a lot of hairpins on this track, Dan, and that can make all the difference if you don't get it quite right.
Especially on the Indy circuit, you've just got to focus so much, especially with it being quite bumpy as well, the curves being quite aggressive. You really have to pick your line, and this is sometimes when you're defending, you might just do something that can unsettle the kart, and ultimately you could lose a position. It's still a fantastic battle between the pair of them, but you know, they've got 15 minutes left. They're still going at it hard.
And I think the heat and intensity of this leading duo is not abating by any means possible. And Lovelace goes up the inside into the final corner. Tom Kempynck's trying to get the switchback. Down the start, finish straight. It's side by side. Kempynck's got the inside run. They barge side pods. It's side by side. Oh, bit of contact there. Side by side into turn 2. Who's going to get the inside run into turn 3? Is it going to be Kempynck or Lovelace? It's Kempynck. Whoa, that was very, very close. I needed the defibrillator there, I think.
You could see the smoke rubbing off the pair of them on the side pods as they come through turn number 1, down the back straight, side by side, at the quickest, the bumpiest parts of the circuit. That takes some stones, and I think the calm down board's being prepared for the pair of them.
Down the start, finish straight they go. Lovelace in the tow, sweeps into turn 1. Lovelace has got the run going down into turn 2. He's thinking better of it this time, a bit more of a measured approach through into turn 2, down into turn 3, round, and it's side by side, down into turn 4. Kempynck, that was Kempynck nipped ahead there. Lovelace, I think, outbraked himself slightly going into that turn 4 approach.
Never mind nipping, they're nibbling at each other, especially through turn 3 on that last one. They just can't stop kissing each other, it seems, can they?
Well, I did make a reference to Yorkshire Terriers, and we got 2 at the front of the field, fighting away like their lives depended on it.
It's close, but what is it going to be?
So this, and I think next time around, the last lap board will be readied for both Tom Kempynck and Sam Lovelace. They head down on the approach in towards turn 3. They've got a back marker ahead of them. Kempynck's got to get past that back marker very, very quickly. Gets the inside line into turn 4, as does Lovelace. Gets past the back marker. Round into turn 5. Kempynck still controlling magnificently out the front. Through into turn 6, it's still Kempynck ahead. Lovelace is closed up. Goes wider going into turn 6 and 7. Through into turn 8, now into turn 9. And it's still Kempynck ahead by a whisker. Sam Lovelace has just over a lap to go to try and secure his first win of the 2017 season. Last lap board will be shown to Tom Kempynck. There it is. 1 lap to go. It's mano a mano. Lovelace has got to go for it. He really has to. And the pair are down into turns 2, into turn 3. Kempynck ahead. Lovelace challenging. And who's going to get the best run into turn 4? It's Kempynck ahead by a whisker. Narrowly between the pair. Fantastic battling for the last 60 minutes. So it's the number 40 of Tom Kempynck briefly ahead of Sam Lovelace heading into turn 6. And Kempynck is trying to make the cut as wide as humanly possible to fend off any potential attack from Sam Lovelace with just a handful of corners to go. They're on the approach. They're coming into turn 9. Tom Kempynck is still defending brilliantly. Through turn 10 they go. This and 1 more corner to go, and it will be the checkered flag. Who's going to make it? Is it going to be Tom Kempynck? Sam Lovelace tries the last ditch attempt, but Tom Kempynck will take the run to the line and blocks off to take the win ahead of Sam Lovelace. Gap between them, 0.129 of a seconds. And great sportsmanship. Fantastic sportsmanship. Brilliant battling by Sam Lovelace and Tom Kempynck. But Tom Kempynck deserved that win, and I think Sam Lovelace was within a sniff of that. But I tell you what, Sam Lovelace, great job to battle Tom Kempynck to the dying finish.
Well, Sam, he threw it to the left-hand side, throws it to the right-hand side. He went as tight as he could possibly go around the final corner in order to get the run. Tom cleverly pulled to the right. He knew that if he pulled enough, it would be enough to keep the win. He did do it. Fantastic result for the pair. And then Max O'Shaughnessy comes over the line to take 3rd, ahead of Axel and Josh Craft, 4th and 5th. Josh Mercer, Harrison Pugh, Sam Bennett, Ben Leslie with that penalty, and Sam Hampshire are your top 10. Charlotte Manton, Alex Brazer, Kurt Foldry, Nathan Ballard, Alexander Doricott, Boyd Wayne Jr., Tim Ellis, Tom Pugh, Dulco and Dylan rounds out the result.
So that concludes round 9 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Light Enduro Championship. We go to Milton Keynes in a few weeks' time for a grandstand finale, courtesy of Messrs O'Shaughnessy and Kempynck. But Kempynck and Lovelace, one of the battles of the season, separated by just 0.129 at the flag.
So a big round of applause for our 3 podium finishers.
Max, great finish, 3rd place, consolidated some good points here today, but I understand you've had some trouble with your hands, haven't you?
Yeah, around about, I think, 40 minutes left. My hands were getting quite slippery from sweat, and it had gone through my glove, and I was struggling to hold onto the wheel, and I couldn't really get around corners, so I had to grab the spokes. But either way, with problems or not, they were about 2/10 a lap quicker than me every lap. So after about halfway through, I settled for third, and then the outcome of their result would sort of determine how my championship went this round.
And in some ways, you must be pleased that the title hasn't been settled here at Tamworth, because we go to Milton Keynes in a few weeks' time, where one of your main protagonists is actually the winner here today.
Yeah, the gap now is really, really close. I think it is the difference between first and second, or less than first, so it's really, really close. So I'm going to have to work hard in the last round to win.
Okay, thank you very much, Max O'Shaughnessy. Dan, I think you're going to be speaking to Sam Lovelace.
Sam Lovelace, great result there. I must admit, I'm going to stand up because you're 5'7", has its benefits. Great race for you. Just tell us, you went side by side, a bit of contact with yourself there and Tom late on in the race, a bit of blue smoke coming off there, so just sort of tell us how sort of nervous were you during that moment?
I wasn't nervous, I was just going for it, to be honest. I really wanted the win today. But yeah, it was a bit robust, but it was good fun.
Well, it certainly looked like a great sparring match between the pair of you. You've got to be pleased with what you did out there.
Yeah, certainly. I think the way I executed the race was good. When Tom got past me in the first 10 minutes, I just went with him so we could drop Max, and then from there, about the half-hour mark, I knew I could attack. But unfortunately, I just didn't get the job done.
And of course, we move on to Milton Keynes in a few weeks' time. I'm assuming more of the same?
Let's hope so, yeah, certainly. Today's been a real big boost for myself, and hopefully I'll go one better next month.
Well, congratulations, Sam. Second place there in the race.
And without further ado, we've got to speak to our race winner 2 this year, Sandown Park, between yourself and Jack O'Neill. But that battle between you and Sam Lovelace had our hearts and our mouths. You must be feeling on high after that one, Tom.
Yeah, definitely. I needed to win for the championship, and I did it. So that's really good. But I have to say, what a battle with Sam. He was all the race in my bumper. Sometimes he was even in front of me. And, well, what a fight. Yeah, glad that I won it. Because as you said now, everything's still to play for at Milton Keynes.
Now, I've noticed a trend with you here this season. This is the 3rd different set of overalls, and it's very, very retro, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think this is going to be a lucky set of overalls going into Milton Keynes in a few weeks?
Maybe, yeah, because the other one I was unlucky at clay. But no, it's just need to buy a new rib protector, and because the current one is making holes in my suit, so that's why I've been using my 2 old suits.
And your thoughts ahead of the Milton Keynes Grandstand finale in a few weeks' time? You've got to be buzzing to get there, go pole, go fastest lap, and try and get one up on Max.
Yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Buzzing, as you said. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the race.
Dan, did that have your heart in your mouth the whole time when Sam and Tom went to war?
They put on a good show for us, and it's 7 points, the championship gap. So going into Milton Keynes, it is all to play for.
Now this is what we want, ladies and gentlemen. A titanic grandstand finale at Milton Keynes. Just 7 points separate Max O'Shaughnessy, current point leaders, and the charging Belgian of Tom Kempynck. Well, if you want to get involved in the lights, inters or heavies here at Daytona DMAX, why not visit our website or call this number.